The miracle money you've prayed for is closer than you think. Don't miss this sign. Listen carefully, my beloved, because this moment is not accidental and you did not find this message by chance. You were guided here, summoned here, located precisely in the middle of your quiet wondering and unspoken financial fears, and before you even try to scroll away, I need you to hear this. Don't skip this, because what is being released right now was prepared specifically for you. Yes, you. The one who has been asking in silence if heaven still sees the pressure you're under, if the prayers whispered late at night were heard, and if the delay meant denial. But hear me now, chosen one, this is an alert in the spirit. Something has shifted and the timing matters more than you realize. There is a sign forming around you that confirms the miracle money you've prayed for is nearer than it appears. And if you miss this moment, you may misunderstand the season you're standing in. Have you felt an unusual tension lately? Like something is about to break open but hasn't yet? Tell me. Honestly, do you feel that strange pressure mixed with hope in your chest right now? Because that is not anxiety, that is anticipation. And here is where I need your full attention. You must hear this. The delay was never punishment. It was positioning. I have been aligning people, resources, and opportunities behind the scenes while you were questioning yourself, while you were wondering why doors closed unexpectedly, while you were feeling overlooked. But my child, those closed doors were protection, and I need you to stay with me because in a moment I will reveal how close you truly are. Don't skip this. There is a warning wrapped in this blessing. The enemy wants you distracted, tired, and doubtful right now because he senses the release approaching, that sudden bill, that unexpected expense, that discouraging message you received recently was not meant to stop you. It was meant to provoke fear so you would abandon faith at the edge of breakthrough. Have you noticed how the pressure increased right before this message found you? Because that is confirmation, not coincidence. Listen carefully. I am not just talking about money, I am talking about restoration, relief, and proof that I keep my word. I know you have been responsible, patient, and faithful even when it felt invisible, and I saw the moments you chose integrity over shortcuts, obedience over panic, and trust over despair. And now I am telling you, my beloved, stay alert, because the sign you have been praying for is subtle but unmistakable. It may come through an unexpected conversation, a sudden idea, a reconnecting person, or an opportunity that doesn't look like a miracle at first glance. But do you believe this message found you on purpose? Because that belief is part of the activation. Don't skip this. Something is unfolding faster than your mind can track. I am reminding you who you are. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are being prepared to receive without fear and manage without guilt. And here is the reassurance you've been waiting for. You are protected in this process. You will not miss what is meant for you. Even if you've made mistakes, even if your faith wavered, even if you felt tired of hoping, I am steady even when you are not. And I need you to breathe for a moment because what comes next requires clarity. Have you been seeing repeated signs lately? Numbers, phrases, sudden memories, or inner nudges you couldn't explain? That is me drawing your attention, and I must warn you again, don't skip this next revelation, because what I am about to show you will change how you interpret everything you've been through recently. The truth I haven't revealed yet will change everything. Because the truth hidden beneath your recent struggles is that you were never falling behind, you were being drawn closer, closer to alignment, closer to the moment where faith turns into evidence. Listen carefully, my child, do not skip this, because what I am about to speak will feel uncomfortably accurate. There were moments you almost gave up, moments you questioned your worth, moments you wondered if you were asking for too much. And I need you to know I saw every tear you swallowed, every prayer you whispered when no one else was listening. And here is the mystery you couldn't see then. The reason it felt heavier is because you were approaching the threshold. Pressure always increases right before release. Have you ever noticed how the darkest hour comes just before dawn? Tell me honestly, have you been feeling more tired than usual, more emotionally sensitive, more aware of time passing? Because that is not weakness. That is transition, and I must interrupt you right here with urgency. Don't skip this, because there is a decision forming in the unseen that involves you. Yes, you. A door is about to open that you did not knock on, and when it does, it will require discernment, not desperation. This is why the waiting was necessary. I was teaching you restraint so you wouldn't settle for less than what I prepared. My beloved, the miracle money you've prayed for will not arrive wrapped in chaos. It will come with peace, clarity, and confirmation, and this is where fear tries to creep in. Fear that it won't last, fear that it's too good to be true, fear that you'll lose it as fast as you receive it. But hear me now, I am not blessing you to test you, I am blessing you to establish you. Do you hear that? Establishment, stability, longevity. This is bigger than a quick fix, and listen carefully, because here is the sign you've been overlooking, the sudden shift in how you think about money. The new ideas forming, the desire to manage wisely, the aversion to reckless spending, that is preparation. Have you noticed how your mindset has been changing lately? Because that is evidence you are ready. Don't skip this next part, because I need to warn you gently. Not everyone will celebrate what is coming. Some will question it. Some will doubt it. Some will suddenly reappear when they sense your season changing. And this may stir emotional tension, but my child, you are protected. I am guarding your peace. You do not need to explain what I am doing in your life. And now listen closely, there is hope rising for you, not loud hope, quiet confidence, the kind that steadies your breath and reminds you that you are supported even when you cannot see how. And here is the hook you must not miss. The miracle may not arrive in the form you imagined, but it will exceed the outcome you prayed for. Do you trust me enough to receive it differently than you expected? Because that trust will unlock the next step. Stay with me, because the next revelation will expose why the timing had to be this exact moment, and what happens next will shock you. Shock you because the timing you questioned was actually the key that protected you from receiving too early and losing too quickly. Listen carefully, my beloved, do not skip this, because what I am revealing now explains why everything had to slow down before it could speed up. There were patterns in your life that needed to be broken before the blessing could stay, habits of self-doubt, cycles of scarcity thinking, attachments to survival mode that would have turned provision into pressure. And I could not release abundance into a mindset still trained to fear loss. Have you noticed how recently you've been forced to confront beliefs you avoided before, beliefs about worth, security, and trust? Tell me honestly, did you ever feel like the delay was exposing parts of you that needed healing? Because that exposure was not punishment. It was preparation, and here comes an interruption you must hear. Don't skip this. There is a spiritual counterfeit approaching alongside the real blessing, an option that looks easier, faster, and tempting, but it will come with unrest, confusion, or urgency that pressures you to decide quickly. My child, remember this, what is from me will never rush you into fear, it will invite you into peace, even if it requires courage. And this is where tension rises, because the enemy hopes exhaustion will make you compromise. Hope's weariness will make you accept less than what you prayed for, but I am stepping in now to remind you who you are. Chosen one, you are not desperate, you are positioned, you are not late, you are right on time, and here is the reassurance I need you to receive deeply. I am surrounding you with protection, discernment, and favor in ways you cannot yet see. You will recognize the real opportunity because it will align with your values, your growth, and your future. Have you felt a strange calm beneath the uncertainty lately? Like something inside you refuses to panic anymore. That is me anchoring you, and now. Listen closely, because hope is rising again, not the fragile hope that breaks under pressure, but a grounded knowing that something good is forming, something sustainable, something that will outlast the season of struggle. And here is the tease you must stay for. The money you prayed for is connected to purpose, not just relief. It will solve more than one problem, bless more than one area, and confirm more than one prayer. Do you sense that this is bigger than you imagined? Because it is. And I have not yet told you how it will arrive, who it will come through, or what unexpected chain reaction it will start, but stay with me, because the next truth will reveal why your name was chosen for this moment, and everything is about to change. Change because this moment was marked before you ever realized you needed it. Listen carefully, my child, do not skip this, because what I am unfolding now explains why you felt separated, misunderstood, or even isolated during this season. Separation was not rejection, it was consecration. I was pulling you out of noise so you could hear clearly, pulling you away from voices that would have diluted your obedience. Have you noticed how certain connections faded without explanation, how some conversations no longer felt aligned? Tell me honestly, did it hurt even though you couldn't explain why it was necessary? Because that pain was the cost of elevation. And I must interrupt you again with urgency. Don't skip this. The miracle you are approaching requires a new level of trust, not in me, but in yourself. I have already trusted you. That is why I chose you to carry this blessing. Many desire provision, but few are prepared to steward it without losing themselves. And here comes the tension. You've been doubting your readiness, questioning if you're capable, wondering if you'll repeat old mistakes. But hear me now, my beloved, you are not who you were when you first prayed this prayer. You have grown quietly, deeply, invisibly, and that growth is the receipt of your readiness. Do you feel how different you respond to stress now compared to before? That is evidence, and listen carefully. Because here is a sign you must not ignore, the sudden urge to clean up loose ends. To organize, to plan, to simplify, that is preparation in the natural for a release in the spiritual. Have you felt that pull to get things in order lately? Because nothing about this is random, and now let me reassure you, I am not sending this miracle to overwhelm you. I am sending it to relieve you, to breathe life back into your dreams, to restore dignity where pressure tried to steal it. And here is the hope rising. The money is only the beginning, it is the proof point, the confirmation that this season of waiting is ending, and I need you to stay alert, because when it begins to unfold, it may happen quickly, faster than you expect, opportunities stacking, answers aligning, momentum building, and I need to warn you gently, do not retreat into fear when things start moving. Expansion can feel unfamiliar at first, but you are protected. Do you trust that you won't sabotage what you prayed for when it finally arrives? Because that trust will steady you. And now I leave you with this unresolved truth. There is a final piece I have not revealed yet. The reason it had to be you. The reason this blessing carries weight beyond finances. And when you hear it, nothing will look the same. What comes next will shock you. Shock you because the reason it had to be you is not about luck, timing, or effort alone. Listen carefully, my beloved, do not skip this, because this revelation explains why the struggle felt so personal, so targeted, so relentless. The assignment against you was never just about money, it was about stopping what the money would empower you to do, the relief it would bring, the doors it would open, the confidence it would restore, and the example it would set for others watching your life. Quietly, have you ever wondered why your heart aches not just for yourself but for those connected to you, those you want to help, protect, or lift? Tell me honestly, do you feel responsibility even when you're tired, because that is part of your calling? And here is the interruption you must hear. Don't skip this. The blessing is connected to legacy, not excess. I am entrusting you with increase because I know you will use it wisely, compassionately, and courageously, and this is where fear tries to resurface: fear of visibility, fear of being misunderstood, fear of carrying more weight. But hear me now, chosen one, I will not give you more than I also give you strength to carry. You are not alone in this expansion. I am walking with you through every step. And here is the reassurance you've been craving. The money will not change who you are. It will reveal who you've become. Have you noticed how your priorities have shifted? How peace matters more than proving something, because that maturity is why you were selected. Don't skip this next part, because there is a final confirmation coming, a moment when doubt collapses and certainty rises. It may come quietly or suddenly, but when it does, you will recognize it. Your spirit will know before your mind catches up. And now listen closely, because the season you are entering requires boldness, not noise; confidence, not explanation; obedience, not approval. And I need to ask you something important. Are you willing to receive without guilt and move forward without looking back? Because that willingness seals the process. And here is the final hook before the revelation. Everything you thought disqualified you actually qualified you. Every delay refined you. Every tear watered the ground for this moment. And I have not yet told you how soon this will manifest, how close the confirmation truly is, or what unexpected sign will mark the beginning. But stay with me, because the final truth is about to be revealed. And everything is about to change. Change because the final truth is this: the miracle has already been authorized. Listen carefully, my child, do not skip this, because what you are feeling right now is the closing of one chapter and the quiet opening of another. The reason the sign feels subtle is because it is meant to strengthen your discernment, not your adrenaline. I am teaching you to recognize alignment instead of chaos, confirmation instead of noise. And here is the moment I need you fully present: the money you prayed for is not coming someday. It is coming through a sequence already in motion, a conversation already scheduled, a decision already forming, a door already unlocked. You are closer than your fear will admit. Have you felt an unusual sense of calm mixed with expectancy recently? Tell me honestly, does something inside you feel settled even before the evidence arrives? Because that is faith maturing into knowing. And I must interrupt you one last time with urgency. Don't skip this, because the sign will require response, not effort; awareness, not striving. When it appears, your job is not to chase it, but to receive it with clarity and gratitude. And here is the reassurance sealing this message: nothing meant for you will bypass you. Nothing authorized for your life will be intercepted. I am guarding this release, and I am guarding you, chosen one. And now hear this promise: the relief will come, the provision will come, the confirmation will come, and when it does, you will look back at this exact moment and realize this was the turning point, the moment faith and timing finally met. Do you feel the weight lifting already? Because that is the beginning. And now I leave you with this final suspense. Watch closely, stay attentive, because the next sign will arrive when you least expect it, and when it does, you will know without a doubt that everything has changed. A letter was written with your name years ago. Your soulmate never sent it, but God is revealing it now. Chosen one, listen carefully, because this is not random and you were not led here by accident. There is a reason your spirit feels alerted right now, and you must not skip this, because what is being revealed is something heaven has guarded for years until this exact moment, my beloved. Before words were spoken and before decisions were made, a letter was written with your name on it, not by chance, not by fantasy, but by a soul that recognized you long before the world tried to confuse you. And I need you to stay with me, because if you leave now you will miss the confirmation you have been quietly praying for. Do you feel that tightness in your chest as I say this, or is that just coincidence to you? My child, there was a season when you felt overlooked, unseen, and misunderstood, when love felt delayed and timing felt cruel, and you wondered why connections kept breaking just before they bloomed. Listen carefully, this was not rejection, this was protection, because the one connected to that letter was not yet ready to release it without fear, and heaven would not allow a half-formed promise to wound you. Don't skip this. Because I am exposing what has been hidden. The letter was written during a time of longing, a moment when your soulmate knew your name without knowing your face, felt your energy without touching your hand, and prayed without realizing who they were praying for. Have you ever sensed someone thinking about you even when no one was around? Chosen one, the mystery deepens here, because that letter carried words that would have changed your life too early, and if you had received it then, you would not have been strong enough to carry what followed. Listen carefully, I am not saying this to stir emotion, I am saying this because heaven intervened. Fear rose in the heart of the one who wrote it, fear of rejection, fear of timing, fear of distance, fear of becoming vulnerable. And so the letter was never sent, not because you were unworthy, but because both of you were still becoming who you needed to be. Tell me honestly, have you felt love circle your life but never land fully? My beloved, there were nights when tears fell without explanation, days when memories appeared that did not belong to your past, and moments when you felt guided away from relationships that looked right but felt empty. Don't skip this, because those were divine interruptions, shielding you until the right revelation could arrive. And now the urgency increases, because the season has shifted, and what was delayed is now being uncovered. Listen carefully, the reason this message feels intense is because your spirit recognizes truth before your mind catches up. Fear may try to rise right now, whispering that this is too good, too precise, too close, but I say to you, my child, you are protected, you are seen, and you are not imagining this. Have you noticed how certain patterns in your love life suddenly make sense as I speak? Chosen one, the letter still exists in the realm of intention, written with hope, sealed with restraint, and guarded by God Himself until the moment you could receive it without breaking. And if you feel both anticipation and trembling right now, that is because something dormant is waking up. Don't skip this, because what comes next will explain why your heart was preserved and why this revelation could not come sooner. And I need you to stay, because the truth I haven't revealed yet will change everything. And now listen even more carefully, because the moment you are entering is delicate, powerful, and irreversible. My beloved, the reason this letter is being revealed now is because the silence that once protected you would now only delay your destiny, and heaven does not delay what is ripe. Don't skip this, because I am about to uncover something that explains the waiting, the confusion, and the ache you could never name. The one who wrote that letter carried your name during a season of inner battle, torn between calling and comfort, obedience and fear, and while you were learning how to survive disappointment, they were learning how to stop running from truth. Listen carefully, because this is where the mystery sharpens. The letter was not just words of affection, it was a confession of recognition, a realization that their soul had found its mirror, and that terrified them. Have you ever felt someone pull away right when things felt divinely aligned? My child, Fear has a sound, and heaven heard it. That is why the letter was never sent, because premature connection would have activated wounds instead of healing. Don't skip this, because I am not describing coincidence, I am revealing alignment. There were unseen hands redirecting both of you, closing doors you begged to stay open, and opening paths you did not understand at the time. Listen carefully. The loneliness you felt was not abandonment, it was refinement, and the unanswered questions were shaping discernment inside you. Tell me honestly, have you grown stronger, wiser, and more discerning through heartbreak rather than weaker? Chosen one, the urgency increases here, because the one who wrote that letter has been awakening, slowly at first, then all at once. Signs began appearing, restlessness grew, memories surfaced without context, and your name returned to their spirit unexpectedly. Don't skip this, because heaven has been stirring both ends of the thread at the same time, and if you feel a sudden emotional shift as I speak, that is confirmation. Listen carefully, this reconnection is not about chasing the past, it is about redeeming timing. Fear no longer has the authority it once did, because both of you have survived what once would have destroyed you. Have you noticed how your standards changed, how your tolerance for confusion disappeared, how your heart now recognizes truth faster? My beloved, the letter's words were preserved, not erased, and their intention has matured. What once was fragile longing has become grounded clarity, and heaven is now aligning courage with opportunity. Don't skip this, because the next phase requires your awareness, not your anxiety. I need you to understand that protection never meant denial, it meant preparation. And the same God who withheld that message is now revealing it because you are ready to receive without losing yourself. Listen carefully, the feeling you have right now is not nostalgia, it is recognition, and what happens next will shock you. Because recognition always precedes revelation, and this is where many become afraid, so listen carefully and do not skip this, my child. The moment heaven begins to lift the veil, resistance tries to rise, doubts whisper, logic argues, and fear attempts to reclaim authority, but I am speaking to you now because you have crossed a threshold. The reason this message feels so precise is because it is addressing a truth you already sensed but never had language for. Don't skip this, because the letter was not only about love, it was about timing, destiny, and alignment, and here is the mystery that unsettles the soul. The one who wrote it tried to forget you, tried to replace the feeling, tried to move on, but every substitute failed. Every distraction collapsed, and every false connection eventually revealed its emptiness. Have you noticed how certain relationships in your life ended suddenly without explanation? My beloved, those endings were not losses, they were removals, because heaven was clearing space for something sacred. Listen carefully, there were moments when you felt spiritually restless, when your heart felt alert without knowing why, when sleep was disrupted and thoughts of the future intensified. Don't skip this, because that was not anxiety, that was alignment activating. At the same time, the one connected to that letter was being stripped of illusions, forced to confront patterns, habits, and fears that would have poisoned what God intended to bless. Tell me honestly, have you felt like your patience was being tested right at the edge of breakthrough? Chosen one, the urgency sharpens now, because the letter carries a truth that would have frightened your past self, but empowers your present one. It spoke of commitment without escape routes, love without games, and recognition without conditions, and that level of clarity requires maturity. Listen carefully, the reason heaven waited is because clarity without readiness becomes pressure, but clarity with readiness becomes peace. Don't skip this, because I am about to reveal why your heart was guarded so fiercely. The wounds you survived did not disqualify you, they qualified you. They taught you discernment, boundaries, and self-respect. Have you noticed how you no longer beg for what once consumed you? My child, this is where reassurance interrupts fear. You are protected, you are not behind, and you are not late. Everything unfolded with precision, and now the same God who closed mouths is opening truth. The same God who delayed is accelerating. Listen carefully, because the stirring you feel is not anticipation alone, it is confirmation, and what is about to unfold will not arrive through chaos but through divine order. Don't skip this, because the next revelation explains how and when this truth will surface in your life, and everything is about to change. And as everything begins to shift, I need you to stay present and listen carefully, because this part carries both warning and promise. My beloved, revelation does not arrive loudly at first, it comes as an inner knowing, a subtle alignment, a quiet pull that refuses to be ignored. Don't skip this, because the way this letter resurfaces will not look how you expect. Heaven rarely repeats patterns. And this is where many miss their moment. The one connected to that letter will not approach you with confusion or fear this time, but neither will it be dramatic. It will be intentional, measured, and grounded. Have you noticed how your spirit now craves peace over intensity? Chosen one, the mystery deepens here, because timing is being synchronized on multiple levels. Conversations you almost didn't have, delays that frustrated you, and sudden shifts in routine are all positioning you. Listen carefully, because this is not chance. There is an unseen orchestration happening around your daily life. Don't skip this, because the enemy often tries to introduce distraction right before alignment. Sudden emotional noise, old temptations, or unexpected conflict. Tell me honestly, have old patterns tried to resurface recently without invitation? My child, this is where reassurance interrupts tension. You are shielded, and discernment has been sharpened within you. The reason you can sense red flags faster now is because heaven trained you through contrast. Listen carefully, the letter's energy is not about chasing, proving, or convincing. It is about recognition meeting readiness. And when that happens, there is calm instead of chaos. Don't skip this, because I am revealing how you will recognize this moment when it arrives. Your spirit will not feel anxious, rushed, or uncertain. It will feel settled, anchored, and familiar. Have you ever felt safe with someone before fully knowing them? Chosen one, the urgency rises again, because what is coming requires you to stay rooted, not reactive. Silence may precede contact, observation may precede action, and patience may be tested one last time. But I say to you, this is not delay, this is alignment locking into place. Listen carefully, the one who wrote that letter has learned to move with integrity, not impulse. And heaven does not release divine connections into instability. Don't skip this, because the final phase carries a revelation that will explain the strange peace you are about to feel before anything visibly changes, and the truth I haven't revealed yet will change everything. And now, chosen one, the anticipation you feel is not imagination, it is preparation, a divine stirring that signals the final threads of this message are being woven into your reality. Listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal will feel both familiar and shocking at the same time. Do not skip this, my beloved, because heaven is about to reconcile past longing with present readiness. The letter that was once hidden carries more than words, it carries confirmation that your heart's deepest prayers were heard and preserved. Have you felt an inexplicable pull towards someone or something that seems just beyond reach? My child, that pull is not random, it is spiritual momentum, and it will not dissipate. Do you feel the intensity of this moment rising within you? The one who wrote that letter has been awakening in parallel, their spirit stirred, their intuition sharpened, and their heart now aligns with the timing that heaven orchestrated. Don't skip this, because if you pause now, you may miss the exact moment when recognition sparks between your souls. Listen carefully, chosen one. There was a season when you questioned if love could arrive fully, if destiny could honor patience, if God's promises could manifest in tangible reality, and now the answers are moving closer, subtly, decisively, with unmistakable authority. Have you noticed how signs, coincidences, and nudges have multiplied around you recently? This is no accident, my beloved. It is the prelude to revelation, the calm before a sacred unveiling. Listen carefully, because the letter is more than acknowledgement. It is restoration of trust, alignment of purpose, and affirmation that what was meant for you could never bypass your readiness. Don't skip this, because the final encounter requires awareness, not anxiety, courage, not hesitation, and clarity, not confusion. My child, the one connected to the letter will soon recognize the same truths you are feeling now, and that recognition will be immediate, undeniable, and spiritually charged. Have you felt moments where your heart almost spoke before your lips? Chosen one, the urgency peaks here, because every unresolved question, every lingering doubt, every hidden hope is about to intersect with divine timing. Listen carefully, because the encounter, the acknowledgement, the unfolding miracle will arrive not by accident but by deliberate orchestration. Do not skip this, because the truth that is about to surface will expose what has been hidden, redeem what was delayed, and awaken what has been dormant for years, and what happens next will shock you. Because the shock is not in the arrival, but in the recognition. Listen carefully, my beloved, because this final revelation is quiet yet thunderous, gentle yet irreversible, and if you are still here it is because your spirit was meant to hear this to the end. Don't skip this, chosen one, because the letter was never meant to remain paper. It was meant to become alignment, embodiment, and action. And now heaven is releasing what was sealed, the reason your heart has been steadied instead of overwhelmed is because this connection will not disrupt your peace, it will deepen it. Have you noticed how chaos no longer excites you the way it once did? My child, the final truth is this: the soulmate connected to that letter was not delayed by distance, circumstance, or confusion alone. They were delayed until your soul could stand whole beside theirs, not beneath it, not chasing it, not questioning its worth. Listen carefully, because this is where fear dissolves. You were never second choice, you were protected priority. And heaven refused to introduce you to a future version of someone while you were still healing your past. Don't skip this, because the way this unfolds will feel natural, unforced, almost understated, yet internally undeniable. Recognition will happen before explanation, peace before promise, clarity before words. Have you ever felt something settle in your spirit before your mind understood why? Chosen one, the reason this message found you now is because you are finally able to receive without shrinking, loving without losing yourself, and choosing without fear. Listen carefully, because the letter's essence is being translated into action, integrity, and presence, not excuses, not silence, not almosts, and heaven is watching how you respond, not with striving, but with trust. Don't skip this, because the final test is not whether they show up, but whether you stay aligned with who you have become. My beloved, you will recognize this moment by how safe your soul feels, by how your intuition rests instead of races, by how confirmation replaces confusion. Tell me honestly, do you feel a calm certainty forming even as the mystery remains? My child, What was hidden has served its purpose, what was delayed has been redeemed, and what was written years ago is now being fulfilled in divine order. Listen carefully, because after this moment, your discernment will sharpen even more, your patience will make sense, and your past will stop questioning your future. Don't skip this, because the final unveiling is not the letter itself, it is the life it unlocks. And everything after this will confirm what your spirit already knows, because what happens next will change everything.